This is Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for September 18th, 2025. The Cambodia Securities Exchange Index was down 0.32 points or 0.08% and closed at 403.64. Total trade volume was down with 24,338 shares changing hands at a total value of 104 million real or over $25,000. On the main board, only one stock was down while the rest remained flat. Akleda Bank saw a decline of 0.29% or 20 real to 6,780 real per share. Over on the growth board, JS Land dropped 0.36% or 10 real to 2,760 real per share, while DBD Engineering remained flat at 2,030 real per share. Akleda Bank recorded the highest trade volume of the day with 8,963 shares changing hands at a total value of 60.8 million real or roughly $15,000, approximately 37% of the total trade volume on Thursday. Royal Group Phnom Penh SEZ recorded the second highest trade volume of the day with 4,348 shares changing hands at a total value of 8.9 million real or 18% of the total trade volume on September 18th. Moving on to the exchange rate, the Khmer Real to USD remained stable at 4,007 real per US dollar, while the US dollar index was slightly up to 96.89. Looking at global commodities, oil prices edged lower on Thursday after the U.S. Federal Reserve cut interest rates and traders weighed the start of looser monetary policy against concerns about the U.S. economy. Brent crude futures declined 19 cents or 0.28% to $67.76 a barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate futures edged down 16 cents or 0.25% to $63.89. Gold retreated further from the previous session's record high, pressured by an uptick in the dollar after the U.S. Federal Reserve adopted a measured tone on future easing following a widely expected 25 basis point interest rate cut. Spot gold was down 0.1% at $3,657.21 per ounce. Prices hit a record high of $3,707.40 on Wednesday before closing 0.8% down. U.S. gold futures for December delivery slipped 0.7% to $3,691. The U.S. Federal Reserve's decision to cut interest rates for the first time this year rippled around the globe, driving up U.S. stock futures and indices in Europe and Asia. The Fed's latest projections suggested officials expect 2 more cuts in 2025, in line with market expectations. Decisions over future easing are expected to become more contentious, however, as policymakers weigh a weakening labor market against inflation concerns. As of the time of the Cambodian market's closing, futures tracking the Dow Jones Industrial Average were up 277 points or 0.6% after the blue chip index finished higher in Wednesday after trading. Futures tied to the S&P 500 were rising 0.8%, while Nasdaq 100 futures were 1% higher after those two indices finished marginally lower in the previous session. This was Darshana Gauchan with your B2B Cambodia Market update for September 18th.